Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to General Hospital spoilers, Christina Corinthos Davis has been balancing a lot of emotional pain ever since the event that almost killed Elizabeth Baldwin and Rick Lansing. The pressure to come clean about cutting Rick's brake lines has never been higher, and her remorse has been growing. However, Christina is now reconsidering everything after having a heart-to-heart with her brother Dante Falconeri, who encouraged her to remain strong for Sonny Corinthos amid his medical crisis. One poor decision now, like as confessing to a crime that could tear the family apart, could send Sonny over the over, and her father's life could be on the line. Is Christina merely buying time until Sonny is stable enough to handle the ramifications, or will she keep her secret hidden? Spoilers for General Hospital. The weight of the world and guilt. This time is no exception to Christina's tendency to show her feelings. She struggles to balance the moral comfort of confession with the very real repercussions it would have on everyone she loves, not just herself. Confessioning to a murder that almost killed Molly's father would probably ruin what little sisterly bond she still has with Molly Lansing Davis, whose relationship is already precarious. Even yet, Christina is troubled by her actions, particularly since Elizabeth was collateral damage and Rick wasn't the only one who nearly perished. That reality is unavoidable for someone like Christina, who has been working to establish herself as a stable member of her turbulent family and a nice daughter and sister. Read more. Discover the events in the most recent GH episode. Gush Dante issued a wake-up call in GH spoilers. Despite not knowing the whole tale, Dante is not an idiot. In a recent conversation, he made it clear that Sonny needs his family more than ever after noticing Christina's unpredictable behavior. He is still in danger, and the strain of any family strife could be fatal. That was really evident to Christina. She may face punishment if she confessed now, and her already precarious condition might suffer a devastating blow. As Dante's comments continue to reverberate in her head, Christina is starting to think that perhaps the most selfless thing she can do right now is to remain silent. Spoilers for General Hospital. The ticking clock. How long, though, can Christina keep her secret? If there are no difficulties during or after the surgery, Sonny's health might not stabilize for weeks or months. She runs the risk of someone else learning the truth every day that goes by. While in her office, Portia called Nina and asked if they were truly prepared to drug Drew. "We sure are. I have the ketamine and our trap is set. We just have to decide when and where to lure Drew into it," Nina replied. At that moment, Drew barged into Portia's office, demanding to speak with her. In order to deal with Drew, Portia hung up. "Do I need to remind you that I hold your career and your relationship in my hands? And right now they're both hanging by a thread," Drew said. According to Portia, once Curtis had made up his mind, it was difficult to persuade him to modify it. "Especially when it comes to you. And I have tried repeatedly," said Portia. Drew had another desire, so he insisted Portia keep trying. He requested that Curtis have Aurora perform several hit songs for Sonny. "The referendum on the Esplanade is really just a referendum on Sonny," Drew clarified. Drew was reminded by Portia that Curtis would never oppose Laura. Jason interrupted Tracy, Emma, and Gio as they were talking in the Q solarium. Tracy smiled and added, "Oh, Jason, I was just telling Gio about some of the suffering that Sonny has wrought on this family over the decades." Tracy was backing the effort to steal Sonny's peers, Gio clarified. Emma defended Sonny's position. "Please don't do this. You said yourself that you owed me for helping save your family's crypt from being bulldozed by Drew Kane," she said. Tracy suddenly had an idea involving Drew. She interrupted his fight with Portia by calling him. "I assure you it will be of the utmost importance to you," Tracy replied. Drew listened intently. Emma was appalled that Tracy would collaborate with a man who almost had her parents' graves demolished after Tracy ended her call with Drew. Tracy informed Gio that Sonny was much more than the man Gio had initially perceived, despite Joe's repeated attempts to defend him. Tracy remarked, "Jason, I know you're going to embark on some heroic stories about Sonny, but don't forget to tell him about what he did to your brother," alluding to the moment Sonny killed an unarmed AJ. Gio asked Jason what Sonny had done to AJ after Emma had left. "It's probably better if you forget what you heard," Jason suggested. Gio replied he couldn't, but he would find someone who would if Jason didn't tell him. Jason stated, "You want to know what happened to my brother? Sonny killed him." In his icy tone. Gio didn't think Jason was real. Gio emphasized, "Uncle Sonny would never do that." Gio questioned how Jason knew the truth, to which Jason replied that Sonny had shot AJ to save Ava. "'Cause I choose to believe Sonny," Jason stated. Jason described his life's path. "The Quartermaines warned me about Sonny years ago, and it got bad. It got so bad that I had to completely cut ties with my family," he stated. "But now, I've got Danny and some life experience and I see things differently now. I didn't get where they were coming from then, but I do now. You're not a kid anymore, so you have to decide. Are you going to trust your relationship with Sonny? Or are you going to listen to everybody else?" Jason responded. It was at the Port Charles Grill that Drew and Tracy first met. When Drew found out that Tracy wanted to join him in his battle to remove Sonny's peers, he was eager to hear it. Tracy wished to set aside their disagreements and cooperate. The Quartermaine name was Drew's reward for his hard work. Drew's stipulations were accepted by Tracy, but only if the referendum was successful. Jacinda was invited to Nina's charming pastel flat. She gave the ketamine vial to Jacinda. "Here is what you will use to drug Drew Kane," Nina said. The ketamine was pharmacy grade, she assured Jacinda. "I want Drew to have a night he never remembers and a night that everyone in Port Charles will never forget," Nina said. After receiving a call from Portia informing Nina that Drew was on his way to the Port Charles Grill, Nina dispatched Jacinda to complete the task. Nina then went to visit Portia to reassure her that everything was proceeding as planned. Drew's Dawn of Day house was deserted, as Wiley, Amelia, and Scout were sleeping at her place. "This is going to break my daughter's heart, but I have to believe that in the end it's all going to be worth it," Nina murmured. Drew went back to the Port Charles Grill and asked the server for a drink. Before Drew received his drink, Jacinda spiked it with ketamine when the bartender set it on the bar. As Nina and Portia prepared for the consequences, she texted Nina to let her know it was finished. After Tracy departed, Jacinda went up to Drew, who told her that his drink seemed a bit too powerful. Drew continued to talk about how much he looked forward to tearing Sonny apart piece by piece. But he claimed to feel terrific. He said, "I'm getting better all the time." And then he asked Jacinda what her name was. They went to the Savoy after Jacinda quickly asked Drew if they could go somewhere more enjoyable. But first Drew drained the remainder of his drink. Curtis assured Jordan at the Savoy that he would stop questioning her about her new position. Jordan remarked, "Good, because it's not like we're still married and I owe you any answers." Jordan was reminded by Curtis that the truth always finds a way to surface. Curtis cautioned his ex-wife that taking down Sidwell was a risky endeavor, and that it would not be simple. "You're looking at it the wrong way, Curtis. It's not whether I can handle Sidwell. It's whether Sidwell can handle me," she responded. Jordan and Curtis informed Portia that Jordan would be working with Drew as part of her new position at Sidwell, and she tried not to react when they came. Anna was flirted with by Professor Dalton at the pub. He wanted to know every detail of her position as police commissioner, but Anna didn't want to discuss her job. From the opposite end of the bar, Jocelyn sat drinking and observed them. Anna made the decision to end the evening when she noticed Jordan engaged in a conversation with Curtis. Before she left, Anna refused to give Dalton her phone number. Before she departed, she remarked, "I'm sure we will run into each other again somewhere." Jocelyn went over to Dalton after Anna left and reminded him that she was in his class. He remarked, "Oh yeah, the latecomer." Jocelyn put on a strong front, complimenting Dalton on his class. She indicated that she was interested in the role of research assistant. Dalton said, "I just don't think it's gonna happen," which shocked Jocelyn. He informed her that the person who had been working on the project all semester was the one he wanted to hire. Jocelyn committed to putting in more effort to increase her prospects. Drew was behaving like a man who had just had a ketamine high when he and Jacinda entered. Before he put his arms around Jacinda, he almost toppled. Seeing his old pal did not make Curtis pleased. "Drew seems to forget that I banned him from this place," he stated. Astonished that her strategy was succeeding, Portia halted Curtis before he could approach Drew. The congressman ordered a round of shots for everyone, and as Drew continued to make a commotion, daring reporter Lulu started taking pictures. Drunk Drew is making a fool of himself right now, Curtis. This is going better than we'd hoped. Portia called Nina to let her know that Jordan had attempted to persuade Drew to accompany her, but he was prepared for body shots using Jacinda's body. Lulu snapped away as Portia grinned and said, "Much better." Lucas informed Marco at Café Sherry that his father had just entered. Sidwell, carrying Lucy on his arm, strolled over to their table and introduced Lucy to Marco Rios. Sidwell proudly declared that Marco was his son after recognizing his name from some real estate documents. As Lucy and Sidwell sat at their table, Lucas felt compelled to discuss their fathers, revealing that his biological father was Julian Jerome, and his adoptive father was Tony Jones. Lucas acknowledged that Tony accepted him right away after he came out, but Bobby struggled before she finally warmed up to him. "My dad accepted me with no problem and my mom couldn't," Marco said matter-of-factly, adding that she still can't. Marco then related his personal story. He added, "And the only drawback of living in Port Charles is that she lives here too." Marco clarified that her mother had also made some homophobic comments about his sister that went viral, and Lucas said, "Your mother is Natalia Ramirez?" "The expression on her face when I told her," Marco said, describing his family dynamic. Marco recalled coming out to Natalia saying, "I'll never forget it." Lucy was amazed that Natalia never brought up having a son across the dining room. "Did we actually know her?" Lucy pondered. Anna told her granddaughter that she had recently met Professor Dalton at the Savoy when they met up for coffee. Anna thought it was fascinating since, "You both switched to the same school at the exact same time." Emma said, "Okay, fine." When Anna inquired if she had anything to tell her, Emma facetiously confessed, "I purposefully made sure that I was in Dalton's class." Anna continued to maintain her belief that coincidences are not real. As tensions rise, Christina Corinthos Davis and Dante Falconeri are at a crossroads. Will she come clean? Or will the pressure of Dante's relentless pursuit push her to desperate measures? The drama in Port Charles never stops, and the latest twists involving Christina Corinthos Davis and Dante Falconeri are proof that secrets never stay buried for long. Christina has been holding back a bombshell revelation that could send shockwaves through her family and relationships, but Dante, ever the astute investigator, is encroaching on the truth, leaving Christina scrambling to keep her secret safe. Dante, with his sharp intuition and unwavering commitment to justice, isn't one to let things go, and his growing suspicions put him on a collision course with Christina, forcing her to face the fact that her deceit may soon be exposed. Christina has always been a complex character, torn between loyalty to her family and her own desires, and her most recent secret is no exception. It could redefine her relationships, especially with those closest to her. The tension between Dante and Christina is evident. As a detective, Dante has an obligation to find the truth, but this is not a straightforward situation. Christina is not just anyone, and her father, Sonny Corinthos, is a man Dante respects. If Dante probes too deeply, he runs the risk of not only incurring Christina's wrath but also possible repercussions within the Corinthos clan. Nevertheless, Dante has never been one to back down from doing what he feels is right. His moral compass is strong, and if Christina's secret involves something unlawful or dangerous, he may feel obligated to act regardless of the personal repercussions. Although she has always been resourceful, Christina feels as though the walls are closing in on her. Dante's investigation is unlike any challenge she has ever faced, so she may turn to allies for support, such as her mother, Alexis, or her siblings Michael and Molly. But will they encourage her to come clean or support her in keeping this secret? Alexis, in particular, has a complicated history with truth and deception. As a lawyer, she understands the weight of secrets, but as a mother, she may prioritize protecting Christina, even if it means breaking the law. Then who else knows? Has Christina told anyone she didn't want to tell? Could her secret involve another prominent figure in Port Charles, such as her boyfriend Blaze or even someone from Sonny's rival factions? The stakes are even higher if her secret is connected to the mob world. The Corinthos family is no stranger to danger, and if Christina's actions unintentionally put her in the path of Sonny's enemies, Dante's intervention might be the only thing keeping her safe. Christina might try to deceive Dante, make up evidence, or even manipulate people to divert him from the investigation as the pressure increases. But Dante is an experienced detective who has dealt with liars and criminals far more craftily than Christina. So if she underestimates him, She could worsen the situation and put herself in a hole from which she will never be able to emerge. According to General Hospital teasers, Sonny Corinthos might be in shock over Giovanni Gio Palmieri's health issue. Will the next peril befall Sonny's secret grandson? By this time, Sonny is sick of seeing the people he loves end up in danger because of him. Sonny is committed to providing a safer life for his loved ones, because Michael Corinthos almost died in that penthouse explosion. Sonny intends to leave the mob for this reason. But first he must identify the person attempting his murder and eliminate his enigmatic foe. Regretfully, before Sonny can remove the menace, someone else might end up in risk. The identity of the someone may have been hinted to by Tracy Quartermaine. Tracy had some comments in the April 28th episode of GH that seemed quite foreboding. Although Tracy cautioned Gio that Sonny was a dangerous man, she contended that if Sonny were in Joe's life, he would be exposed to that danger. Gio obviously didn't believe that his relationship with Uncle Sonny would put him in danger, but Tracy persisted in trying to warn him of the dangers that lay ahead. Are you aware of what happens to those Sonny attracts into his world? They either wind up in jail or the dirt. Tracy persisted. And if that happened to you, it would destroy me. Imagine Tracy's reaction when she learns that Gio is her great-grandson. If she is already this close to him. A Gio medical crisis plotline that transforms everything is already in the works. Naturally, Gio is appreciative of Sonny for being his patron and providing him with unwavering support throughout the years. Gio views Sonny as family and is in his sphere of influence, even if he is unaware that Sonny is his grandfather. Tracy's danger warning is alarming because of this, particularly in light of the real threat to Sonny's life that is getting worse. Similar to Michael, Gio might be hurt by Sonny if he happens to be in the wrong location at the wrong moment. The truth regarding Joe's parentage may even be revealed in this way. Lois Cerullo may have to come honest in an attempt to find Gio a match because Gio may require some kind of medical gift. In any case, Sonny worries that he may bring harm to his loved ones, and Tracy is essentially concerned about the same thing. Tracy's projections regarding the risks could come true because Gio might be the next person in line for some Sonny-related danger. Sonny and everyone else who cares about Gio may experience some frightening times, but Gio will live through whatever is ahead. Just as Brooklyn Quartermaine and Dante Falconeri think they're going to lose their son, they may learn the truth. Stay back for updates on all the commotion, as General Hospital spoilers indicate that some startling Gio news is developing nonetheless. Carly told Jason that Sonny was doing okay in California, but there was a dubious nurse in his bedside, giving him a dubious injection. Sonny awoke abruptly, glanced at the nurse and fell asleep. Brick entered at that moment and demanded to see identification. Brick was directly on top of the nurse as she produced a gun, and he pulled his own first, killing the nurse. While the nurse was sprawled across Sonny's knees, Brick summoned someone to take the body away. Carly panicked out when she entered and realized what was happening, but Brick told her to keep her voice down. Brick remarked, "We got a little situation." Brick led Carly into the hallway and explained that he suspected something was wrong after he noticed blood near a supply closet, went inside, and discovered an injured nurse. Carly was taken aback when Jack unexpectedly showed there a few minutes later. Brick apparently called that person. Jack decided to stop by and provide a hand since he was already en route to Los Angeles for a meeting. Sonny imagined while he lay unconscious that he was back in Port Charles and that Mike was serving him at Kelly's. Even the old Kelly's sign was there. After giving his father a hug, Sonny remarked, "I can't believe it's been 5 years. When you're having fun, time flies," Mike remarked. Mike reassured Sonny that he was still alive. "The surgery was a complete success, but they sedated you pretty good, so I saw it as an opportunity for a visit," said Ghost Mike. Sonny's only response was, "You were right about all of it." Sonny gave Ghost Mike an explanation of his position. "I ought to have left the company a long time ago. You told me to leave how many times?" "Dad," Sonny continued, "I should have paid attention to you." The ghost Sonny turned into a mobster, and Mike blamed himself for it. As a child, he wasn't there for him. Sonny clarified that he has been considering leaving the company for some time. "It has been gradually catching up with me. What transpired with Michael was the final straw. I'm to blame." Sonny, with tears in his eyes, remarked, "Someone came after me and Michael paid for it. Michael has been caught in the crossfire before, but this must be the final time." The final time, Sunny continued. Sunny bemoaned to Ghost Mike. I'm in a trap of my own making and I can't find a way out that's going to keep my family safe. Ghost Mike was confused when Sunny revealed that Jason also desired to go. Son, I apologize, he remarked. I wish I had an answer for you. Ghost Mike was confident Sunny could solve this on his own. Tracy demanded in the Q Solarium that Gio register to vote in Port Charles in order to participate in the referendum. Gio responded, my Uncle Sunny owns those peers. Gio was asked to read a particular web page by Tracy. You might think twice about supporting Sunny, she stated. After reading it, Gio said it was either fake news or a total hit piece. Gio was enraged. It paints Uncle Sunny to be some criminal mastermind, he stated. It struck Tracy as being rather realistic, and she admitted to collaborating with a committee to divest Sunny of his waterfront property. Gio was curious as to why. Because it stops Sunny from doing business, and I'm not talking about the coffee business, Tracy replied. Gio, I have lived in Port Charles a lot longer than you, and I have seen the violence and crime he has brought to this city and to this family, Tracy said. Gio became irate as he mentioned all that Sunny had done for him over the years. Tracy didn't want Gio to be exposed to Sunny's danger though. Are you aware of the consequences for those Sunny attracts into his world? They either wind up in jail or the dirt. And if anything were to happen to you, it would destroy me, Tracy said. Gazing over the commitment documents, Alexis questioned Molly and Christina about their source. Molly clarified that her files had become confused with Diane's. The second I saw what it was, I went straight to Christina, said Molly. Christina refused to listen to Alexis's attempt to clarify herself. Everything is in black and white, Christina remarked. You think I'm crazy and I need to be committed. Christina thought Molly had discovered the documents first, but Alexis clarified that she never signed or filed them. Alexis requested a private conversation with Christina, but both girls declined. Alexis had to speak in code as a result. I don't think anyone can deny how difficult this past year has been for Christina, she stated. She stated that she chose not to sign the documents since she saw Christina's growth during their girls' night. Molly and Christina pleaded with her to explain why she had chosen to have these documents prepared at this time. When Alexis said, "Because you left me no choice," she exploded. That Alexis would point the finger at Christina infuriated Molly. Alexis murmured hazily, "Molly, your sister is not doing as well as you think. I got the sense that you were covering, that you were saying all the right things but not feeling them," Alexis said. Christina was upset that Alexis seemed to have forgotten that she had attempted to murder someone just a few weeks prior, and had not given any thought to what she desired. Molly was left to throw Alexis shady looks as Christina left. She walked out of the office after berating her mother for attempting to control Christina's life. Alexis was given an enigmatic parcel once she was by herself. She discovered the notorious dagger inside a package when she opened it. As she described how terribly Irene had messed up, Christina went directly to her grave and kept calling her Adela. "I made a terrible mistake. I injured Rick and Elizabeth when I attempted to kill Ava," Christina said at the grave of a stillborn child. When Trina and Kai saw Curtis at the Savoy, they were taken aback. He emphasized that the property was still his. Kai requested a brief conversation with Curtis. He apologized for seeking his opinion on the procedure, but he disregarded it. It was no big thing, Curtis said. He acknowledged Kai's independent thought. When they met, Trina confided in Emma that she was anxious about Kai's operation, which was set for the following day. For Kai's sake, Emma urged Trina to maintain her optimism. At that moment, Professor Dalton showed up. He asked to talk to Emma alone and simply wanted to say hello, reminding her that it could help her get the job as a research assistant. Dalton inquired about the progress of her extra credit work. Emma kept sucking up to the professor, telling him how much she enjoyed his most recent talk. But Emma headed straight for her friend when Gio texted to ask her to meet him at the QS. A man wearing a hoodie grabbed Jocelyn as she was moving along an unfamiliar, dim passageway. She discovered that the man was Vaughn after he released her. He wanted to know how Joss was doing in her attempt to get a job as Professor Dalton's new research assistant. According to Joss, she was making every effort, but the competition is stiff. Vaughn reprimanded Joss, saying that Jocelyn's role as Dalton's assistant was crucial to the mission's success. I can't snap my fingers and become his assistant, Joss said. Vaughn suggested that Jocelyn take a unique approach. Felicia texted Jordan as soon as she entered the Savoy to let her know that she and Anna would be late. Jordan and Curtis took a seat. Jordan informed Curtis that, for the sake of appearance, she was now attempting to get along with Drew. When Anna eventually showed up, she went straight to the bar, where Dalton quickly got her a drink. When Dalton revealed to her that he was a college professor who had recently relocated from the Bay Area, she became rather intrigued. Brad gave Portia several files including Drew's whole medical history since coming to Port Charles, including his Jake Doe files at the hospital. Then Portia informed Brad that she had another task for him. When Portia said, "I need you to get me ketamine." "Good for you," said Brad. "I didn't know that's how you roll, Chief," he continued. Brad hesitated, but an irate Portia maintained it wasn't for her. If she didn't comply with his request, she threatened to terminate him. Brad followed instructions and gave Portia the ketamine. Sonny was left reeling as he tried to comprehend the terrible turn of events after learning of Joe's unexpected medical crisis. Gio, a man who had unexpectedly but crucially become a part of Sonny's life, was now struggling to survive, and the situation was weighing down on him like an insurmountable load. As Sonny strode back and forth through the seemingly interminable hospital hallways, his mind was racing with unresolved questions and nagging remorse. How could things have gotten so out of hand? Did he have any responsibility for this? The physician's solemn voices and solemn faces did little to calm his mounting fear. However, Joe's illness was only part of the horror. Like a ghost of previous transgressions returning to haunt him, the discovery of a secret grandson, a child Sonny had never even knew existed, loomed large over him. Young and defenseless, the youngster had been thrown into the middle of a risky game that Sonny had been trying to protect his family from for years. The idea that whomever was responsible for Joe's abrupt fall might now be targeting the child made Sonny feel even more terrified. His gaze went back to his own past mistakes. The bad deals, the enemies, and the loved ones caught in the crossfire. Despite his vow to never allow history to repeat itself, he found himself on the brink of yet another catastrophe. Sonny had only recently discovered about the boy's mother, who was terrified and showed her mistrust of him in every wary look. There was a reason she had kept the child a secret, and now it was glaring at them all. Danger lurked behind Sonny like a shadow. Sonny's fists were locked at his sides as he waited outside Joe's hospital room, listening to the heart monitor's constant beep. Whoever did this would be held accountable. He had to first make sure his grandson, a youngster who had not yet seen him, was secure. Every second mattered and time was running out. He couldn't wait, and neither could his foes who lurked in the shadows. More than ever, the burden of responsibility weighed heavily on him. His motivation had always been to protect his family, but the stakes had never been higher now that an innocent life was in the line of fire. Would history repeat itself in the worst possible way, or would he be able to save them both? While Emma said it was only a coincidence, Anna didn't buy it. Emma has developed a strong desire to work as Dalton's research assistant. Interestingly, newcomer WSB agent Jocelyn Jack Aiden McCoy is also fixated on this post, but that's because it's tied to her first mission. Could Emma and Joss's fixation on Dalton be a coincidence too? Is Emma a WSB or DVX agent? Is Emma a WSB agent? And can the agency have two agents working on the same mission to assure success? Is Joss Emma's backup? Emma got into a lot of problems back in California, so the WSB may believe that a Plan B is needed as an insurance policy. However, it wouldn't be surprising if Jocelyn is being deceived by Jack Brennan. Anna went to great lengths along back, tossing Brennan and warning him not to approach her grandchild. This may have been a too little, too late threat. Perhaps Brennan had previously approached Emma and provided her with a WSB offer. There's also the possibility that she was recruited while attending university in California. Emma has a multitude of reasons to harbor a grudge against the WSB, so it wouldn't be surprising if she works for DVX instead. Emma's grandmother Anna, grandfather Robert Scorpio, and great-uncle Max Scorpio have all passed down superspy expertise to her. Nina Reeves' plan to break up Drew Kane and Willow Tate Corinthos may have worked like a charm. Hiring escort Jacinda to drug the congressman was flawlessly executed. But as fans know all too well, secrets never stay secrets for long.